Hey there, I'm Akanksha Swaroop. Now, whether it's the issue of human rights abuses in Xinjiang, or expressing support for the autonomy of Taiwan or even Hong Kong, there's only one argument presented by China to the international community, and that is that other countries have no right to interfere with what China calls its internal affairs. Mind you, the irony is that it was China who blocked India and the United States' UN proposal to blacklist Pak-based terrorist Hafiz Talah Saeed. Hafiz Talah Saeed is the son of LET chief and Mumbai 26/11 terror attacks mastermind Hafiz Saeed. Now, as per India's Home Ministry, Hafiz Talah Saeed has been actively involved in recruitment, fund collection and planning and executing LET attacks. Attacks that target India and Indian interests in Afghanistan. Talah Saeed has also been actively visiting various LET centers across Pakistan. And not just that, the terrorist has been propagating for jihad against India, Israel and the United States. And it is hardened terrorists like Talah Saeed and his father Hafiz Saeed who are thriving off support not just from Pakistan but China too. Simply because China is blocking India and the US's UN proposals to blacklist these terrorists. It should be noted that China's decision to block the proposal on Hafiz Talah Saeed was the second such move within just 2 days and the fifth in 4 months. China has repeatedly put a hold on listing proposals at the United Nations, ones that aim to designate Pak-based terrorists under the 1267 Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee regime. On Tuesday as well, China put a hold on another UN proposal by India and the US. This proposal aimed to list Pak-based LET member Shahid Mahmood as a global terrorist. It should be noted that China has consistently disregarded India's zero-tolerance approach to terrorism. Even India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, had cautioned China and Pakistan at the UNGA to abstain from supporting Pak-based terrorism. Clearly, India's warnings have fell on deaf ears.
The Security Council must send an unambiguous and unequivocal message on this count. Politics should never, ever provide cover to evade accountability, nor indeed to facilitate impunity. Regrettably, we have seen this of late in this very chamber when it comes to sanctioning of some of the world's most dreaded terrorists. If egregious attacks committed in broad daylight are left unpunished, this Council must reflect on the signals we are sending on impunity. There must be consistency if we are to ensure credibility.
What's equally shocking is that China's spree to block India's proposals continues despite India's abstention from the Xinjiang vote. Ironically, India was among the 11 nations that abstained from a UNHCR resolution on Xinjiang. This resolution was on alleged human rights abuses in China's Xinjiang. And here's how India's abstention helped China. It enabled the defeat of a West-led resolution by 19 votes to 17 for the second time in 16 years ever since the UNHCR was formed. Now, had India voted in favor of the resolution, as also Ukraine, the result would have clearly been the opposite. Ukraine later claimed that its abstention was a mistake. And that prompts the question, was India's abstention a mistake too? India's External Affairs Ministry had justified its abstention by saying that country-specific votes are never helpful. It also said that India favors a dialogue. On the other hand, experts have hinted that India's abstention was more to avoid retaliation by China on other issues, simply because China is a UNHRC member. Not to forget the recent semblance of normalcy at the LAC. Something that India's Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has already pushed back against, saying only disengagement and de-escalation can ensure normalcy on the border with China. But the fact of the matter remains, India's abstention from Xinjiang vote flies in the face of Beijing's anti-India stand on terrorism at the UN Security Council. The question that arises is, would China have reciprocated India's goodwill on the issue of Kashmir? The answer is a strict and predictable no. Case in point is when China swiftly convened a UNSC meet on Kashmir. This was soon after the abrogation of Article 370 in the year 2019. Interestingly, many of those who voted in favor of a debate on Xinjiang already stand in solidarity with India on the Kashmir issue at the UNSC. Clearly, bailing out China has rebound on India.